Hey folks, Wes here for another episode of the Vinyl Survivor. If you're not familiar with the show, this is where we take 5 records from the inbox down below here, clean them up, give them a listen, and see if they're worth putting in the collection or whether they didn't make it. So let's go ahead and get into this. 5 more albums. Let's see which ones made it and which ones didn't. All right, the first thing we have here is the U.S. debut of the Stray Cats. This is an album titled "Built for Speed" from 1982. This is actually a compilation of the first 2 albums they released in the UK, which was a big hit for them in the US. They sort of made their US migration over. Rock This Town, Street Cat Strut, a lot of other stuff here. Of course, Brian Setzer, which he'd made another sort of a rebirth in the 90s with the Brian Setzer Orchestra, sort of doing the same kind of thing as this, but this is just a classic 80s album. Stray Cats, Built for Speed. This is on the EMI America label. Cool label. And yeah, I guess I should say, if you're not familiar with Stray Cats, they're sort of a throwback rockabilly 50s sort of sound. I mean, you can see all the hot rods and the way they're dressed on the cover, and you can kind of get an idea of what they sound like. Yeah, this has a blue dot on it, so it was 75 cents at the library sale. That's where I picked this up at, and it's a fun album and definitely a must-have in my collection. So this one's going in the collection. Okay, next up we have the 5th album from Luther Vandross. This is titled "Give Me the Reason" from 1986. Featured his first big hit, "Stop to Love." And of course, Luther Vandross is sort of an R&B, soul R&B crooner. Inner sleeve just has pictures of him on here, and this is on Epic Records. So yeah, I enjoyed hearing this whole album. Overall, I didn't really get much from it, not much enjoyment at all. I mean, pretty much standard 80s R&B kind of stuff. Not really my thing. I don't really think I would be revisiting this at any time in the future, so it's not going to be going in the collection. You know, like I said, I enjoyed hearing it. I've heard it now a couple times. I'm going to be passing this on, so that one's not going in the collection. Okay, next up we have the first live album from the Doobie Brothers. This is their farewell tour album, so first in sort of last for a while live albums, recorded in 1982. This is their farewell tour. I said farewell tour already, but just a really good live album. Really well recorded. Sounds great. You know, features a ton of songs on here. And you got "Taken to the Streets," "Jesus Is Just Alright," "Listen to the Music," "Blackwater," "Long Train Runnin'," "China Grove." Just all the hits are here plus more. 2 album set. Got a bunch of pictures. More on the inside. And then in inner sleeves, more and more pictures. Lots and lots of pictures. There's a funny one. And this is on the Warner Brothers record label. And yeah, overall, just a really good sounding live album. Very enjoyable. You know, they have a lot of songs that everybody should know quite well. And yeah, this was a pickup from the library sale again. $1.50 for this one. Really good pickup. I enjoyed it. I enjoy good live albums if they sound really good. This one does. You know, it's a really tricky thing to get a good live album. You want to sort of capture that experience of a group live, so you don't want it to sound too cold and too sort of cleaned up and everything, but you don't want it to sound poor, like you're sort of have that disconnect of not being there. This really did a good job in my opinion. So Doobie Brothers farewell tour, going in the collection. All right, next up we have the 3rd studio album from George Winston. This is Winter into Spring from 1982. It's very fitting now, since we're right now when I'm recording this, we're going from winter into spring. And just another great sort of solo piano, beautiful piano music. Sometimes you just want some nice piano music in the background, and this works really well. Really emotional, beautiful music, and it sort of makes you feel of sort of a nice meadow like that or whatever. And this is on Windham Hill Records, so it has that sort of plain white label that they use. So yeah, George Winston, Winter into Spring, very good. Going in the collection, this one is 50 cents from the library sale. Okay, and last but not least here we have the ninth studio album from John Denver. This is Wind Song from 1975. Features the hit I'm Sorry. Beautiful, beautiful folky country kind of music here. This is a beautiful beautiful copy of this. This isn't actually an upgrade copy. There's already a copy of this in the collection. This is just an upgrade for it. This one was originally in shrink when I found it. It's a beautiful, clean copy of this, so I had to pick it up to get a nice inner sleeve here. Another big photo and all the lyrics, which is nice. And this is on the RCA Victor label. So yeah, it's John Denver, Wind Song. I love John Denver. This is a great album from him through and through. Just some great songs on here. Late Night Radio is a really fun one. Just great stuff. So this one is absolutely going in the collection as well. So that's another episode of the Vinyl Survivor. 4 albums made it in the collection up there, and 1 didn't this time. It was a pretty good episode. So I want to thank you for watching. Stay tuned, and we'll be back real soon. Cheers.